Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you are having a good weekend so far, and I hope that you're having a great last day of 2022 heading into 2023. I'm sure that for many of you, New Year's Eve is quite close. For me, it's still a little bit far away. It's still just 5:30 in the morning, but I am there with you in spirit. Welcome, Fuang. Hi, Tan. Nice to see our members joining in. Everybody, this is a members chat class. To become a member of our channel, click the join button next to the subscribe button. And of course, everybody is welcome to watch and learn. We will have an all chat class coming up in 2 hours. That will be speaking part 3. This class is speaking part 2. So these classes are connected. We will practice lots of speaking in this class with strategies and tips to get those high band scores. The topic, the focus for this part 2 is nature that's near you. It's kind of a pleasant topic to end the year on, talking about nature, and I really hope that 2023 will be a year where everybody around the world recognizes the importance of nature and just puts in a bit of extra effort to help save our beautiful planet and environment going into the future. So that's why I chose this topic as the last topic of the year. This lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. For general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. Those are the websites that are the textbooks for these live classes. So if you're participating in these live classes regularly, it's a great idea to join our premium IELTS package. We will use these websites a little bit later in the class today. For speaking, this is our academic IELTS website here at aehelp.com. Click that big red button that's just right above my head there to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. Doesn't cost a lot. The goal here is to help you pass IELTS. We're an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. We're an IELTS registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent. So you are in great hands with us. And for general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. It's the green background. Again, click this big red button here just above my head. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. And you can use the code LEARN9 LEARN10 for a 10% discount. Check the price in your country. It changes, it varies depending on the economic GDP of the country. So we try to make the course accessible for everybody. Check that out. Chayani, Karina, Raquea, Romelia, good to have you joining in. Domenico, nice to have so many members in the class. I love how you're all so studious. You're here with me and not somewhere else popping champagne. Or maybe you are. Maybe you're doing both. Maybe you're learning for the IELTS and you're popping champagne. It's good to celebrate life. It's good to be happy, and I hope that all of you are going into 2023. Students, we do have apps. Check out Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help in your app stores. They link to the websites so you can learn on your phone, and then you can learn on the website from home. Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp, GIELTS Help for vocabulary and some reels to help you learn English quickly on the go. If you have questions, send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. That's my name, adrian@aehelp.com. And then admin@aehelp.com will also work. Okay. Domenico, I'm sorry to hear that you're having a bit of difficulty. I wish you a swift recovery for that. Students, if you like physical textbooks, like you really like to work with pen and paper, we do have books on Amazon. Check out or search for A Helps Academic IELTS and G Helps General IELTS for our original practice exams. Students, streaming schedule for the first week of 2023. As I mentioned, we're going to do speaking part 2, part 3 today. And then from the 1st to the 4th, there's no class. That's usual, Sunday to Wednesday. And then on the 5th, we will have speaking part 1 for everybody, and then we'll have task 2 and reading on the 6th. On Saturday, the 7th, we'll have more speaking. And then we'll have a special class on Discord. Discord is a really cool platform for students, by students. It's free. We are partners with the biggest Discord group called IELTS Prep. Check out our Discord event. Here is the link for that. Okay. And here's another link for our latest video release, which is a very useful speaking video to help you practice your speaking karaoke style. So check that out when you have a minute. All right, so let's get into our IELTS Part 2 for the day. Here we go, everybody. Again, for those of you who are new to the IELTS exam, IELTS Part 2, it's unique, it's different, it's not a common kind of speaking situation in everyday life. It is more about the ability to present information, sustaining a 1 to 2 minute discussion on your own, okay? So this means that 5 minutes after you're into your speaking interview, and the examiner has asked you some questions about your hobbies or sports and such, they will say that is the end of part 1. Now we will continue with part 2. For this part, I will show you a card with some questions. You will have 1 minute to read these, think about your answers, take notes in this time if you wish, and then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. Talk about a park or a natural place near your home. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. And then you look at the questions. You read the questions carefully. This question has come up on IELTS in the past several times in different ways. Welcome, Dixon. Yes, I see that you just joined up our members. That's great. Fantastic. Nice to have you on board. So definitely talking about nature, talking about locations, practicing that before your IELTS exam. Very good idea. And again, I thought the topic of nature would be fitting because, you know, we're often as humans caught up in our own human activities, politics, strife, economics and such. However, you know, at the end of the day, I think the biggest and most important issue concerning humanity is arguably our place in nature and our ability to sustain and maintain the nature that's around us. And as the alpha predator on our planet, as the species that rules, let's say, quote unquote, or has a massive impact on all of the other species, if we want to survive generations and generations, then I think that humanity really has to step up and band together, unify, and make some serious decisions around nature and the environment in order to avoid massive difficulty, not just, of course, for the animals and plants, but for humans themselves. We've reached 8 billion people, and going into 2023, I think it has to come to a point where we put our other problems aside and start focusing on this much, much more. So it's a great way to end and to be optimistic for 2023 and end 2022. So here's the card. And by the way, it's not just my personal agenda here. IELTS is the same. So IELTS, when you're in your IELTS exam, you will notice that IELTS questions, part 2 cue card speaking questions, and also task 2 writing questions will frequently target the current affairs of humanity. So oftentimes you'll notice that, oh, these are kind of the issues or the concerns that people are dealing with now that IELTS is asking about. And of course, there's a reason. It's because they're popular topics of discussion in work, in everyday life, in school. So it's no surprise that, you know, IELTS is asking about these topics, right? So learn about them and know how to discuss them. Okay, so your first step here with the cue card is to read the cue card carefully. Talk about a park or a natural place near your home. You should say what this place is. Where is it located? What can people do there? A memory you have going to this place. You have 1 to 2 minutes to talk about this topic. You will have 1 minute to prepare what you're going to say. My first tip to you students is it's definitely a good idea to read the cue card twice. Okay, so tip 1. Read the cue card twice so that you are 110% clear on the questions that you need to answer. And you start to get some ideas. Okay, now there's a strange advice that's circulating on the internet that the cue card is just to guide you. Some people have asked me this recently, like they said, oh, there's a few videos that say you don't have to answer all the questions on the card, it's just there to guide you. No, okay, you have to answer all the questions on the cue card. You must answer all the questions on the cue card clearly for task completion and to get full marks. Okay, so it's not optional, it's not just a guide. That's silly. Okay, notice how the last question is a memory you have going to this place. That's not a guiding question, that's a very specific question that needs to be answered. If you miss that question in your 1 to 2 minute response, you will not get a full mark in your speaking interview. Okay, it's basically, it becomes impossible. All right, so this question, of course, is a location. All right, IELTS cue cards, there's kind of 5 possible areas of discussion. It's a person, a place, an object, an event, or an idea. It's basically one of these 5 kind of categories that the cue card will target, okay? In this case, we are targeting a location because it's asking you to talk about a natural place, so a place that's near you, okay, in this case. Now, make sure that you practice talking about all 5 of these categories before your test. So practice talking about a person, an object, event, idea, as well as what we're doing today, a location. Each of these categories has a very, very specific kind of structure that you can follow so that you can speak clearly, accurately. If you're not familiar with these, again, you can learn all of this in your course on the website. So for all of those premium students, make sure to go through each of these different categories in your lessons on the website at aehelp.com or gieltshelp.com. So when you're talking about a location, Kennel, Sunantha, Domenico, Dixon, what should we include and in what order? Okay, so when we talk about a location or a place, let's say, what should we talk about? Okay, I'm going to call it a place just to give you a little bit of a help here. Chayani says activities, but yeah, that's good, Chayani, activities, but that's definitely not the first. Okay. So we've got activities. Fuang attendees, again, it's good. It's not the first. Okay. Attendees comes before activities. Right? What comes before attendees? Yeah, so Chayani, good. Location and appearance. Okay. Then attendees, then activities, and then, very good, Kennel. I like how you put it up in the correct order. And then experience. Okay? As long as you practice this, you're already on the right track. All right? So 1, talk about the location. 2, talk about the appearance. 3, talk about the attendees. 4, talk about the activities. 5, talk about the experience. I'm going to give you a very, very quick example here, just so you can see how accurately, I don't want to say easy, but accurately you can do this when you follow this pattern. Okay, so a park which I love going to, especially in the summer, is Beacon Hill Park, located about 3 kilometers from my home towards the east part of Victoria, my hometown, along the Pacific Ocean. This park is filled with hundreds of different kinds of flowers. It covers about 25 acres of land and has a petting zoo where children can interact with goats and chickens and other types of farm animals. Aside from children, adults and the elderly also visit this park for recreational activities and sports. In the summertime, the park is filled with thousands of tourists, mostly from the US, as well as other parts of the world. People enjoy picnics together, celebrating birthday parties. Kids go to the playground that's located in the park to have some fun. And I have been visiting this park since the age of 3. I have many fond memories with my parents and my brothers playing ball games, having barbecues, lots of good laughs and good times. I have thousands of pictures on my hard drive which were taken at this park at various points in my life. Okay, so all I'm doing here is I'm literally just going through location, appearance, attendees, activities, experience. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And by doing that, I'm obviously targeting the different questions that are on the cue card. Okay. And just like me, these check marks here, that's what the examiner is doing. Check, 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 check. Okay. 1 to 2 minutes, answered all the questions. That is the end of part 2. Now we will go on to part 3. So that's the concept, okay? That's what you need to replicate. That's what you need to copy, all right? Okay, so again, understanding how to talk about a location or an object, a person, an event, an idea with the right structure, practicing that structure, and then using good connectives, that's the key to part 2. Okay? All right? And there are lots of different ways to do it. All right. So we've got this. We've got the place, the location, the appearance, attendees, activities, experience. Now, the next step after we have all of this is to come up with a couple of good ideas, okay? So here we're going to be using the present tense for general discussion. We're going to use the past tense because it's asking us about experiences that we've had. And we want to come up with a couple of good ideas. So before you start talking, think about 2 to 3 possible choices. Now, I talked about Beacon Hill Park, which is perhaps the most famous park in the city of Victoria, but it might not be the best choice for discussion, okay? So it's important to think about 2, 3 possible options and then think about, okay, well, which one's the easiest to talk about? Which one can I talk about fluently? Which one do I have the vocabulary for? And then go with that one, okay? So this is a very important tip, and you should always follow this tip. Think of 2 to 3 options before you decide on the subject of your response, okay? So what kind of places are near your home? I'd love to hear it. So Kennel, Sunantha, Phuong, Rakwea, Chayani, what kinds of natural places or parks are near your home which you think you would talk about? Kennel says animal sanctuary. What's the name of the animal sanctuary, Kennel? Be specific. So something animal sanctuary, right? Or something animal sanctuary, Kennel. Be specific. Okay, give me the name. I said Beacon Hill Park, not just park, right? Okay, Amrit, good to have you here. What kind of a park? What kind of a forest? Okay, we need something specific. Sunantha says mangrove forest. What kind of mangrove? Okay, it's a mangrove forest. I got you. I know what that means, but does it have a name, Sunantha? Like something mangrove forest? Because I've been to a mangrove forest in Costa Rica, and I've been to a mangrove forest in Florida as well. So what's the mangrove forest? Okay, Domenico, if there is a nice beach with a running trail that's near your home in Sicily, what's the name of it? Okay. Okay, Raquia, good. So Raquia says Sanjay Gandhi National Park. Sure. Okay. Chayani says Catalia Flower Park. Okay. Fuang says April Park in the city. Okay, good. Now you're being specific. Joao, a zoo would not be considered a natural area. That is artificial. It's man-made. Okay, because it has animals, no, it would not be. That would be an awkward. It's a good question. Okay, so Joao, Slow Sunset Vibes. Joao's asking if I talked about a zoo. Yeah, no, that would not be. There, a lot of examiners, in fact, probably most examiners, would think, well, this person's off topic. A zoo is not really a natural place. Okay. All right. Domenico, then use the name of the street. So if the name of the street is the name of the beach or the natural running path, then use that. Okay. Chayani says Bintaro Lake. Okay. And think about the place that's nearest to your home. Okay. So members, here is your assignment. Okay. I am going to take some notes for my response. Okay, I'm going to give a response to this question here in a second for practice purpose. But of course, this is kind of unique to each of us because some of you or many of you probably are not too familiar with the natural places around Victoria. And I'm not too familiar with the natural places around your home. So while I take these notes, okay, this is your assignment. Okay. So while I take notes, I want you to pick the place to talk about and take notes, like me. Okay, so you're not going to, don't pay too much attention to what I'm doing. Just look at how I'm doing it and take notes for the place you choose. So, Fuang, if you choose April Park, take notes for April Park. Chayani, if you want to do Bintaro Lake, then take some notes for Bintaro Lake. Okay, so when we're taking the notes, all right, then we want to follow the same order of logic that we have when we talk about a place or a location. So the first is location, okay? Now the name of the place I'm going to choose is called Whitty's Lagoon. Okay, as a natural place. I've actually talked about Beacon Hill Park in lessons months ago and another nice natural place in Victoria called Mount Douglas Park. Fortunately, Victoria has lots of beautiful natural areas. That's why it's called the Garden City. Hi, Dewey. Good to have you here. I bet you're getting kind of close to celebrating New Year's in France, along with our moderator, Sarah, who is probably absent for that very reason. Okay, so first is location. Okay, so notice how I'm keeping this short, okay? All right, then appearance. Okay, then after I'm done appearance, so I have 1 minute to do this, so I have to really be careful. And of course, I'm writing this by hand. So in the speaking section, you're not typing by computer, but you're writing by hand, even in the computer-based exam, okay? Okay, and then all right. All right, so there are my notes. Okay, so you'll make sense of these notes once I start my 1 to 2 minute response. Again, I stayed a little bit quiet here because I was hoping that you were also taking some notes. Okay, so definitely visualize the place. That's a good idea, Domenico, and take some notes. So hopefully you all took some notes here. Now, the next very, very important step. Okay, and this is for all of our viewers, it's very important, okay, is have your first sentence ready in the 1 minute preparation time. In the 1 minute preparation time. Okay, very, very important, so that you can be fluent and you can be accurate, okay? So my first sentence would sound like this. A fantastic place of natural beauty not too far from my home is Whitty's Lagoon. Okay? And then I simply start. So I stay nice and fluent. I connect my sentences and I go through my notes and I follow this concept of location, appearance, attendees, activities, and experience. So I'm going to type this out for you. Hi, Sarah. I just mentioned you when Dewey joined in. It's interesting. Both you and Dewey joined in almost kind of at the similar time, both of you in France at the moment. Yeah, I'm sure all of you are preparing for New Year's. Nice to have you in the chat, Sarah. Okay, so here we go. Now the examiner says, okay, your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking. There are 2 points to keep in mind, okay? Your notes. So as soon as the examiner starts you and they say, please begin speaking, you have to keep 2 points in mind. Use your notes and use the cue card to stay on topic answer all the questions. And avoid repetition. Okay, so your goal in the cue card in that 1 to 2 minutes in part 2 is to give new information, make sure that new information is on topic, and avoid repetition. Because if you repeat yourself, if you start repeating yourself, like you keep saying, so Whitty's Lagoon is kind of close to my home, it's really not too far, it's like 5 minutes away, I can get there by car pretty quickly, so it's quite close to my house, then the examiner will interrupt you. They'll say, okay, that is the end of part 2, let's go on to part 3, because they feel like you're stuck, you're not going anywhere. Okay, so they'll give you the 1 minute, but not much more. All right, so don't repeat yourself. Use your notes and use the cue card. The reason I emphasize that so much is because it is the #1 mistake of candidates. They're nervous, they're sitting in the exam. When the examiner says your 1 minute preparation time is up, please begin speaking. The #1 mistake is the candidates completely forget about the cue card, they forget about their notes, and they just stare at the examiner, they stare at the ceiling, they panic, they freak out. So don't be that person, okay? All right. A fantastic place of natural beauty not too far from my home is Whitty's Lagoon. It is located in the district of Michosin, about a 20-minute drive from my townhouse towards the northeast. The lagoon is situated on about 150 acres of land along the coast of Vancouver Island, and it has lots of trees, many conifers. Conifers are like the types of trees that are like Christmas trees with the needles, the pine needles. Okay, so many conifers, as well as some orchards, and lots of Himalayan blackberry bushes. The lagoon has about 2 kilometers of sandy beach, and during low tide the water is only about knee deep for a kilometer. This makes it a lot of fun for families and children to play, because it is safe and warm. The sun warms this shallow water to about 28 degrees in the summer. Mostly locals and sports enthusiasts visit this place, since it takes about 20 minutes of hiking to get to the beach. In the summer, lots of people enjoy barbecues, picnics, skimboarding, and snorkeling. In early fall, many locals go to the lagoon to pick blackberries for cakes and jam. I have done all of these activities growing up. with my brothers during the summer, and I have many fond memories of this beautiful natural place near my home. Now I take my children there to enjoy this beautiful provincial park. At least a couple times a year. Okay. All right. So, there we go. That's my response, and hopefully you were thinking about the same, okay? So here is, and by the way, this is true. This is an actual place. You should be, it's okay in part 2 to make up some information, but with a question like this, I think all of us should be able to give, hopefully, a real answer. If we can't, then we could be a little bit in trouble. Okay. All right. There. Let's correct all those. Now it's nice and correct. So I'm going to go through this, and students, members, I want you to repeat. So I want you to copy this. I'm going to go kind of sentence by sentence. We'll look at the cue card again. And after we do this practice, I'm going to take volunteers, and I want to hear about the beautiful natural places that are near your home. Okay? All right. So again, here's the cue card that we're looking at today. And again, I chose this because I think that 2023 should really be the year where we as humans focus on nature and saving nature and focusing on the environment and putting all of our other human issues aside. So we should really focus on the planet, because if we don't help the environment, then everything else will be in vain. All right, so here we go. Talk about a park or a natural place near your home. You should say what this place is, where is it located, what can people do there, a memory you have going to this place. All right. Now, notice this last question, and this is why I said you really want to pay attention to the cue card, because arguably I made the mistake of not paying enough attention to this. So a memory, and here it says a memory, right? Which means one memory, okay? So here where I'm talking about my experiences there, right? So I said I have done all of these activities growing up with my brothers during the summer, and I have many fond memories. Instead of saying, and I have many fond memories of this place, I should say something like, and I have a vivid memory of going to this lagoon at the age of 12 to pick blackberries and falling into a blackberry bush. It was quite painful. And my mom was picking thorns from my clothes and skin for half an hour. Okay. So that would be a specific memory, all right? It's very important that you answer the question accurately. Okay, students, here we go. So again, remember, this is a repetition work, so make sure to speak and repeat. Okay. Here we go. So the examiner says, okay, Adrian, your time is up. Please begin speaking. A fantastic place of natural beauty not too far from my home is Whitty's Lagoon. It is located in the district of Metchosin, about 20-minute drive from my townhouse towards the northeast. The lagoon is situated on about 150 acres of land along the coast of Vancouver Island, and it has lots of trees, many conifers, as well as some orchards and some and lots of Himalayan blackberry bushes. The lagoon has about 2 kilometers of sandy beach, and during low tide, the water is only about knee deep for a kilometer. This makes it a lot of fun for families and children to play because it is safe and warm. The sun warms this shallow water to about 28 degrees in the summer. Mostly locals and sports enthusiasts visit this place since it takes about 20 minutes of hiking to get to the beach. In the summer, lots of people enjoy barbecues, picnics, skimboarding, and snorkeling. In early fall, many locals go to the lagoon to pick blackberries for cakes and jams. I've done all of the activities I just mentioned growing up with my brothers during the summer, and I have a vivid memory of going there at the age of 12 to pick blackberries and falling into the bush. It was quite painful, and my mom was picking thorns from my clothes and skin for about half an hour. Now I take my children there to enjoy this beautiful provincial park at least a couple times a year. And then I can even have this concluding sentence of, I'm fortunate to have such a lovely place near to where I live. Okay, so that's a nice summarizing sentence there. All right, students, so that's what it sounds like, that's what it looks like, and now I want to hear about the beautiful natural places that are near your home. So I think it's a very positive way to be kind of closing the year, thinking about these beautiful natural places and maybe visiting them during the holidays. So we still have a few days before school starts. Many of us have some time off work. So going out, getting some fresh air, enjoying these beautiful natural places. Let me put my headphones on here so I can hear you better. And then students will go to the websites and do some volunteer work. Our head developer has been working diligently to try and make sure that everybody has a great experience with the chat. So let's see what's going on. I'm going to put the URL into the chat here. Sarah, if you can maybe put the instructions into the chat on how to join the chat for everybody who's watching. I know we have a couple of new members. Thank you, Sarah. That's awesome. So log into your My Student account at aehelp.com. The URL is in the chat. This is the website here. Again, to join the premium package, you can click on this big red button. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access. And you can learn all of the different steps for talking about people and objects, events and ideas, not just places. And then log into your My Student account. Your My Student account will look like this. And then click on the student partner speaking. So just follow the instructions that Sarah has kindly put into the chat for everybody. And then click on the student partner speaking. I accept start speaking. Once you're in the chat, you will see lots of people in here. So we have Javan, Zoraida, Gashem, Sanantha, Chayani, Artemisa. So we've got lots of people in here. And now I'm going to ask you to volunteer. You will see me in here as master. So you'll see my handle as this. Okay. And all you have to do is send me a message, say I want to volunteer, okay? And then I will take some volunteers and give you some feedback, okay? All right. So members, I'm always looking for you in here. This is a members chat class, okay? All right, we haven't heard from Sunantha in a while, so let's give Sunantha a chance. Sanantha, hi, are you ready? Yes, perfect. Okay, let's give Sunantha a call. Students, use your headsets and we'll go from there.
Hello.
Hi, Sunantha. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing good.
Great. Sunantha, you are in Thailand?
Yes, I'm
Huh.
Thailand.
Okay, how close are you to New Year?
It's almost 3 hours.
Okay, so it's around nine o'clock right now for you?
Just 9 o'clock.
Okay, so you're close. Do you have a New Year's resolution?
Yeah, I have many New Year resolution.
Can I ask what it is?
Yeah. Number one, I have a plan for a uh, new job, about job,
Okay.
and yeah, and about my health. I have New Year resolution to uh, do intermittent fasting, 18 hours a day,
Okay, intermittent
and
fasting. All right.
yeah, and exercise mm, more than an hour a day.
Okay, good for you. Well, a good diet and well, for me, I always put the diet and the exercise first because I find that if I can do the diet and the exercise, it helps me with all of my other resolutions. So I get a new job, I win the lottery. So health and exercise just seems to be so good for
Yeah.
all of the other ones. All right, Sunantha, well, I hope that those will really work for you and not just for the first month, but the whole year. So,
Okay.
all right.
But the last one I want to read are 40 books for entire years.
Ooh, good. Okay, yeah, reading. All right, lots of New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
Great, good for you. Okay, Sunantha, let's practice this speaking part 2. Are you ready?
Okay.
Did you think about a place?
Yes.
All right.
I have to read it.
Okay, I will start you off. Okay, so here we go. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay. The wonderful place of natural place near my apartment is the JD mango forest. So just 5 minutes driving, and the location is in the middle of Leon City. So very convenient and very beautiful place. I always go to there around 2 or 3 times a month for a walk, and there's I have seen many people like to go for a walk and do many activities like get some kayak act and do some exercise. Mm, because in the JD Mango Forest you have the area uh, for a walk and for do some meditation and for doing yoga, and there are a lot of bridge and long tail are around 10 kilometers for walk around the mango forest. And I have been uh, and taken the boat or the boat trip to see the natural view and yeah, cruise around the river because the mango forest is surrounded by the river.
Okay,
And
I'm going to stop you there. Your time is up, and now we will continue with part 3. For this part, I will ask you some questions related to the topic of part 2. Please put your note paper to the side, turn it over. Okay, good. Sanantha, nice flow, nice fluency. So JD Mangrove Forest. All right. Good. I'm happy that you named it. You told me what the name of it is. Okay, Sanantha, nice job following the pattern of location. I think describing what it looks like a little bit earlier would have helped you a bit more. Okay, a little bit, better connected, a little bit better flow will get you a higher mark, but that was quite good. So you would easily, for that, you would easily get a 6.5. Okay. Because you had a lot of good information there with a little bit better description, with a little bit better connection, more attention to your memory, your experience that you had there. I think you could do even better. So you said the wonderful place of natural place. Careful with those extra unnecessary words. So the wonderful place of natural beauty. Near my apartment is JD Mangrove Forest. It's just a 5-minute drive. It's in the middle of the city. And then you said it's a beautiful place. You already said beautiful place, so avoid repetition as well. Okay. And then you said I always go there about 2 or 3 times a month for a walk. Before talking about what you do there, just describing it briefly, you did that later. So you said it's about 10 kilometers around. Now, I think a lot of people, and probably a lot of our viewers, aren't sure what a mangrove forest actually is. Can you tell everybody as clearly as possible what a mangrove forest is?
It's like a mangrove garden in the middle of city that the government decide for help tourism. That's
I get that part of it.
And also for nature, for admire the nature easily for local and tourists.
I get that part of it, but what I think a lot of people aren't too clear on is what is a mangrove? So how does a mangrove look different from
mangrove
yeah
the tree in the it can grow up in the in a in the river in the sea.
Yeah. So I know, so this is the tricky part, right? So a mangrove forest is where the trees are surrounded by semi-fresh seawater. Yeah. It's semi-fresh seawater, right? So kind of like a swamp. Okay, but a swamp is not seawater. A mangrove is it's seawater mixing with fresh water, and it's like the forest is flooded, right?
Yes.
And that's what I would focus on here. So I've had the fortune of being to a couple of different mangrove forests, like I say, in Florida and Costa Rica. And when you have a mangrove forest, it's very unique, right? So there's a lot of unique plants and animals that live in mangrove forests. Can you tell everybody what kinds of unique plants and animals can be seen in a mangrove forest?
It's hello?
Yes, I'm here.
The wild animal like a crab and it's crab, fish, and some and also a lot of birds.
Yeah, lots of beautiful birds. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. So it's those parts, right? And you want to visualize those parts. So when you're talking about this place of natural beauty and you're describing what it looks like, personally, I would have focused on that. And, I think IELTS examiners, they do kind of judge you. So if you would have me as your IELTS examiner, I would judge you. I would be like, okay, you're talking to me about a mangrove forest. So why aren't you telling me about how unique a mangrove forest is that it's flooded with seawater. It has just this beautiful fauna and flora with lots of colorful birds and sea creatures. Because you touched on it, you said this part where you said that people go on kayaks. Okay, kayaks is a verb. Just repeat after me, and everybody can repeat this. So lots of people go kayaking and on boat tours.
Kayak
Okay, I'm going
on
to say
boat.
this sentence once more, Sanantha. Just repeat the full sentence, okay? So, lots of people go kayaking and on boat tours through the mangrove forest to take pictures of the beautiful birds.
A lot of people go for kayaking and boat tour, see around mangrove forest.
To take pictures of the beautiful
To
birds
take
and
a
animal
picture.
life.
Yeah, to take picture and see beautiful birds and animal life.
Okay, good. So, that's the kind of sentence that you want to string together for those high band scores.
Yes,
Make sense?
yes. Makes sense, yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, Sanantha, thank you so much for volunteering. Have a very, very happy New Year. And I hope that 2023 brings you lots of great fortune.
Yes. Thank you. You know, I left the class for almost a month because I went to India for 3 weeks. I
Oh, wow.
joined, yeah, joined national training in India, and I don't have enough internet to connect the class.
Well, it's nice to have you back, Sanantha. It's nice to have you back, and I look forward to seeing you in the class in the coming year.
Okay.
Bye, Sanantha.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Just refresh your page, everybody. I have to do the same here. So I'm just going to refresh the page. I think it was Karina that was asking me. I have a problem joining. If you have a problem joining, just refresh the page. As soon as you refresh the page, it should auto heal itself. So it's fine. And then you can send me a message and we can connect. Okay. All right. Chayani was quick to do that. Let's reach out to Chayani, see how Chayani's doing. Chayani, are you ready? All right. Here we go. And good for you to give Sanantha a thumbs up, everybody. Nice support there in the chat. Absolutely. We want to see strong support here at the end of the year. That's perfect. Okay, Chayani.
Hello.
Hi, Chayani.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you doing?
I'm doing great today. How about you?
Awesome. Chayani, where are you in the world right now?
I'm in Indonesia. It's 9:27.
9:27. So you're in the same time zone as Sanantha.
Yes, in the
Okay.
same time zone.
Exactly. All right. And do you have a New Year's resolution?
I have several. Exactly. I hope I can get my goal on IELTS exams 7.0.
I was wondering when somebody was going to say that as a New Year's
Yeah.
resolution. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to help you with that, Chayani. So let's practice this part 2 question. I will start you off. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, good. Talk about a park or a natural place near your home. Your 1-minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
An extraordinary natural place that close to my house is Cattleya Flower that located in West Jakarta. It is kind a piece of cake to reach there from my place. It's about 2 kilometer distance and need 25 minutes to arrive there. Just go straight, then turn right, and just arrive. The flower park appearance about 100 hectares that is quite large, and the appearance and there is appeared different varieties of flower and shady trees. Also in the shore of the park provided several benches so that the visitor can pacify their mind easily. Mostly local citizens and sport hunters visit this place about an hour to snap the picture of the view. During the holiday, most attendees did several activities such as picnic, jogging, shooting, even dating with their boyfriend or girlfriend. I have an experience while visited this park when the Kurds retreat, and at the first time I was on the top of the world because it was the fantastic nature. I enjoyed the beauty view by playing together with my friends and praying together during the retreat time. It was made me over the moon. Now I am able to invite my family to enjoy this magnificent environment at least 1 to 2 times a month.
Okay, your time is
So
up. I
I
will stop you there. And we will now continue with part 3. Please put the note paper to the side. All right, really nice structure, first of all, Chani. So very good. That would be about a band 7. Okay, so with that
really
fluency, with that structure, with that clarity, it would be about a band 7. And if you were to fix the slight grammatical mistakes, a couple of awkward uses of language, it could easily go up to an 8, fix the pronunciation a bit too, and you will get up to a 9. So the content is there. That's the good news, okay? What you
okay.
want to do, Chani, is you want to do exactly what you did right now for practice when you're talking about a place. You want to record yourself. After you record yourself on your phone, then you want to play it back, write it down, just like what I was doing. I was trying to keep up with you, but you were so fluent that I couldn't type everything. So at home, when you're doing this exercise, you want to type everything, every word, okay? And then you want to put it through a grammar check software. Microsoft has a really good grammar check now. Grammarly has a really good grammar check. Check with somebody else. So give it to a friend, give it to a teacher or family member who can give you some more feedback. And then once you have the completely correct version grammatically, then you say it again and you record it again and you listen to it, okay?
Okay,
Let me
got it,
let
sir.
let me show you a couple of those kinds of mistakes that you're looking for, okay? So you said an extraordinary place that's close to my house is Catalina Flower Park, I think you said, located in West Jakarta. You said it's about 2 kilometer distance and needs about 20 minutes. You missed a part here, so there was just a little bit of missing information here. About 25 minutes on foot, right? I'm guessing, because 2 kilometers comfortably would be on foot. I'm actually a fast walker,
Okay.
so I was thinking, well, maybe it's uphill or something. But anyway, just 25 minutes is 25 minutes for 2 kilometers is quite a bit of time, in my opinion. But I walk fast, so 25 minutes on foot to arrive there. And then you said the flower part is about 100 acres. Flower part is a little bit awkward English, so as your tutor, I would say replace flower part with flower garden.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
garden.
so flower part, it's like flower garden. Flower garden is about 100 acres. There are shady trees, and then you said provided several bench. Benches are countable. Benches. Okay.
Benches.
And it's probably not several. I would guess there are quite a few. So I would say it like this to make it natural. Quite a few benches can be found around the park, like that. That would be more natural. Can you repeat this sentence after me? And again, repetition work, it's for everybody. So there are quite a few benches that can be found around the park where people can rest and take in the natural beauty.
Um, the quite a few benches that can be found around the park. So, sorry, I forgot what you said.
So the tourists can rest and take in the natural beauty.
So the tourists can rest and enjoy the natural beauty.
Okay, good. Because you said can pacify their mind. And I understand what you're trying to say, like they can unwind and relax, but pacifying our mind, it's a little bit different, the context where we use that. So if I'm extremely stressed in a certain situation, or I'm very angry, like somebody's made me very angry, then I might take a few deep breaths to pacify my mind. But it's not something I would do in the park. It's a little bit different. There I just go to relax. So just watch those slightly awkward uses of language. Now, you said I have an experience visiting this park for the first time, where I felt like I was on top of the world with all the beautiful flowers, right? That was okay. So that was good, Chayani. And then you doubled up on your idiom. You said it was make me over the moon. Too much. Okay, so it's awkward. And this, I say this advice often: don't force idioms into the language. It sounds awkward, and we don't say it like this. It was make me over the moon. That's incorrect English. So you would say I was over the moon. I was over the moon. That's pretty much the only way that we use that expression. I was over the moon. Okay, we never use it in other ways, like it made me over the moon. It's that's weird. Okay, so the way to make these corrections: record, write down, correct, repeat, record. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right, Chayani, lovely. I hope to see. You know what? I might just Google. It's JD Flower Park in Jakarta.
Cattleya Flower Park in
Catalina.
Japan.
Yeah, that was JD Mangrove. Yeah, Catalina. Catalina. I'm gonna, because I have record of all of these, so this is for everybody. The places that you're telling me, if they're real places, that's gonna be my mission. I'm gonna, after the class, I'm gonna Google them and see what Google Pictures shows me. I'm sure it's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, Chayani.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I have a question.
Go for it.
How to face the follow-up question that suddenly come out? Because I was speechless because of the follow-up question during the first exam.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Chayani, that was a fantastic question. And everybody pay attention to this. So in your official IELTS, what happens in part 2 is when you're speaking, when you're giving your 2-minute response, the examiner will jot down a question, okay? And you need to be ready for it, all right? So if you were telling me this, Chayani, for example, one question that I would probably jot down is, like this one. I would be curious, what are some of the most common flowers that a person can see at this park? Okay, so the examiner will say, that is the end of part 2. We will now continue with part 3. For this part, I will ask you a question related to your response and some follow-up questions on this topic. And then they'll ask you something like, what are some of the most common flowers a person can see in this park? Now, Chayani, you might not know the names of lots of flowers in English, right?
Yeah.
So what you need to do is just use what you know. The truth is not important, okay? Maybe there's like a very unique type of flower that's indigenous to Indonesia. Don't try to translate it. Don't try to figure it out. Just say roses. Okay? There are lots of roses. And some tulips. That
just make up the answer, you mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So the truth doesn't matter. Don't try to get caught saying the truth and then being really stuck. You know, and if you need, because that question can be really surprising, if you need time, ask for it. So you can say, that's a surprising question.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's surprising, that's a surprising question. Give me a second. Please. And then you can say, well, if I really think about it, roses are the most common. There are thousands of rose bushes, okay, around the park. So that's how you would answer it. So don't rush. Okay, you don't have to rush. Take your time.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Because it was made me speechless. Can I spell this question?
Yeah, absolutely.
The question is talk about if I have the future children, what name will I give to them? That was made me blush.
Okay,
Blushing.
yeah, and so IELTS is nothing personal. It's kind of it's weird, but in IELTS, so Chani, that was really good. And pay attention here, people, because this happens. This is very good information for you. So Chayani said that the question she got in her real IELTS exam was, if you have children in the future, what names will you give them?
Yes.
Okay. And, you know, that's kind of a personal and provocative question. I agree with you, you know, asking a stranger woman. Let me ask you this. Was your examiner a man or a woman?
Yes.
Was it a he or a she that was asking you the question?
He.
He. So it was a man. So it's even more provocative because it's a man
Yeah.
that's asking you, right?
Yeah.
Stay emotionless. So, you know, sometimes candidates think, okay, if a question comes up about politics or about something like boyfriend, girlfriend, right? Stay neutral. They have lots of candidates that they have, and they're just asking questions. They're kind of like robots, right? So you have to be kind of like a robot too. Okay. You can't take it personally. So, well, and here, you know, I mean, think about it. Chayani, giving your children a name takes a lot of time and thinking, right? Most people don't just
Yeah.
pull a name out of the hat, okay? So this is a perfect example, Chayani, of answering kind of like a robot, but with intonation and just coming up with it. Well, I would name my daughter Julie, and my son Frank. I would never do that, by the way. I think those are fine names, but I'm just coming up with them, right? Because I think these are pretty names and easy to pronounce. Okay? I just completely made that up. My kids are different. My daughter's Sabella, my other daughter's Stephanie. So it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. So Chayani, if you have children in the future, what names will you give them?
Well, if I have a child in the future, I would like to give them Thunder because I want him great as Thunder and brave.
Love it. Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
So you would
Yeah.
you would name your child Thunder. My suggestion then is maybe go with Thor. Thor means
Yeah.
thunder, right? But
Yeah. Yeah.
sure, Thunder.
That's
Why
what
not?
the real answer in the test.
Okay, good. Right. It's fine. All right. Okay, good question, Chani. That was a really good question. I think that's very helpful for a lot of people. So thank you for asking that question.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have an
Anytime.
awesome start to the new
Yeah.
year. Bye,
Yeah.
Chayani.
Thank you, sir. Happy New Year, 2023.
To you too. Bye, Chayani.
Yeah. So,
That was great. So thumbs up for Chayani. Yeah. Sabella, my older daughter is Sabella, Sarah, and it's originally Greek, the name origin. So Greek. All right. Karina, it looks like you joined up. I think maybe you refreshed the page, right? Are you ready? Karina? So good. And I'm paying attention to everybody, especially our members here. Let's see if Karina is available for a part 2. I don't think Karina's ever had the chance to practice a part 2 yet. So Karina, if you're there, I just sent you a message if you're listening, and then we'll give this a go, okay? Karina, I don't hear you. I'll wait for a second more. It might be taking a bit of time for your internet to catch up. Oh, I hear something.
Hello?
Hi, Karina.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Good, good. Karina, where are you right now in our big, beautiful world?
I'm in Indonesia. I'm in Manado, North Sulawesi,
Okay.
one of 5 biggest island in Indonesia.
Okay, so you are also in the same time zone as Chayani and Sanantha. You're all celebrating New Year's at the same time. All right. And Karina, what is your New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution, uh, uh, I would have L score 7.5 maybe.
Nice. Okay, go for it. I will help you. Karina, I'm going to start you off for this cue card. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, talk about a park or a natural place near your home. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Yeah. Beautiful place near from my home is Punakan Beach. That one that uh, 5 kilometers away from my home. I can go there by car around 30 minutes. And Bunakan Bunakan Beach located in Bunakan Island that I also need to go by boat around 20 minutes. Bunakan Island full of beach that very beautiful. Uh, the island about 75 hectares and full of coconut trees that the coconut is also delicious. It just has a white fence around the island. Uh, the the lo- the locals from the Bunakan Island is uh, has hobby from a volleyball pitch. In there we can in there I can go to picnic, snorkeling, diving, and swimming. The Bunakan Island have an underwater park, the most beautiful underwater park from Indonesia. And last year, I with my friends go to there to diving and snorkeling. I had a great time with them.
Okay, your time is up. I will stop you there. And now we will continue with part three. For part three, I will ask you a question related to your response and some questions connected to this topic. What did you see when you were snorkeling in this park?
A lot of fish, there are tiny fish and also a rather big one, and beautiful corals that that I'm sorry, a lot of idea. I run out idea.
Okay. So good. All right. So I was kind of following with what Chayani was asking there with the last question, because that's actually how it works. And I think from Chayani that was a good suggestion, even though she didn't verbally suggest it, is to just ask that question from our volunteers so that you can see how that part of the exam works. Okay, because I can give you more feedback. So that would be about a band 5.5 for that part two, because it's not quite fluent and there's quite a bit of repetition. Okay. I'll
Yeah.
show you what's going on here, Karina. Okay, your idea was good. You just need to create more compound and complex sentences. Okay, and that's what I want you to be practicing at the start of the new year, especially your complex sentences. So you said a beautiful place near from my home is Punakam Beach, and then you kind of got stuck, right? So use your adjective clauses. Which is located, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
5 kilometers from my home, and I can go there by car in about 30 minutes. So you've got some good ideas, but they're very segmented. It's like little piece, little piece, little piece, little piece. And when it's lots of little pieces, it starts to become difficult to follow. So you really want to work on just connecting those pieces a little bit better with those adjective clauses, subordinating conjunctions, correlative coordinating conjunctions. So really pay attention to using those connectives. And you want to practice your writing, especially to improve using those connectives, okay? So what you want to do, and this is a really good exercise for you, Karina, is record. Everybody should always record their part 2 practice, by the way. So when you're doing part 2, always have your phone, always record it, okay? And then what you do is you record it, and then you write it down, just like what I did on the screen, and then connect it. So find ways to connect the information. Okay, can you just repeat after me? A beautiful place near my home is Punakam Beach, which is located 5 kilometers from my home, and I can get there by car in 30 minutes.
A beautiful place near from my home is Bunaken Beach, which is located 5 kilometers away from my home, and I can go there by car in 30 minutes.
Okay, good. And then avoid the repetition. So you said it's located on Punakam Island and I need to go by boat in 20 minutes. And then you said Punakam Beach is a beautiful beach. There was a lot of Punakam Beach and a beautiful beach. So Punakam Beach kind of kept repeating. So you want to replace the exact noun here with pronouns or subjective nouns, right? So this pretty sandy seaboard or sea walk is and then something like that. So find synonyms, okay? Find synonyms. Coconuts grow on palm trees, okay? And then you said it has the most beautiful underwater I wouldn't say park. I would say something like it has the most beautiful underwater sea life.
Oh,
in
sea
Indonesia.
life.
Yeah. Part or park is a bit weird. Underwater sea life. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So it has lots of fish, tiny fish. Yes, they would be tiny, colorful fish. What kind of fish? They're tropical fish, right? So it has a lot of tiny, colorful, tropical fish. Okay, so when you get that follow-up question, and this is kind of for everybody, when you get that follow-up question, don't freak out, don't be surprised, just say what you know. So I can see, are there sharks? Karina, are there any sharks around there?
I'm sorry, Adrian, I lost you.
I'm just asking you if you can hear me now. Are there sharks?
Yeah, shark that, but it's rare.
Okay.
It's rare from the area.
Just say it, right? So I can see a lot of tiny, colorful, tropical fish, and on the rare occasion, even sharks, as well as beautiful corals. And then don't say I'm sorry. Don't say I ran out of ideas, okay? This is an important tip for everybody. Never say you're sorry. Never say, and that's it, or I've run out of ideas. Just say I can see a lot of tiny, colorful, tropical fish, on the rare occasion, sharks, and beautiful corals. So, Karina, when you're snorkeling, what can you see there?
Like, what can I see there?
Yeah, so one more time, I just want you to repeat. I'm going to say it one more time. I can see a lot of tiny, colorful, tropical fish. On the rare occasion, I can see sharks, and sometimes, or sorry, on the rare occasion, I can see sharks, and of course, lots of beautiful corals. So when you're snorkeling there, what can you see?
I can see tiny colorful fish, and also beautiful color. And in rare occasion, I can see shark.
Good, and then stop. That's it. You don't need to say you're sorry or you've run out of ideas or you have nothing else to say, okay? So always finish strong. Karina, good, okay? Keep practicing that and practice connecting those ideas, okay?
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much and have a very happy new year.
Yeah, a very happy new year to Adrian, and thank you for your...
You're welcome. Bye, Karina. All right, give Karina a thumbs up. She did awesome. Okay. Let's see, who else do we have? Well, should I push? Yeah, let's do one more. Okay, let's push one more here. Let's see what's going on around Sicily for beautiful natural places. Domenico, you're volunteering. What are we going to be able to hear? You said you're not able to speak. Are you ready? And Romelia, keep your beautiful place in mind because we've got the speaking part 3 coming up next class, and I definitely want to hear all about it, Romelia. So, all right.
Hello.
Hi, Domenico. So
Hi.
I would ask you how you're doing, but you said you're in a bit of pain.
Yeah, I'm suffering for oh my God. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Yeah. I'm suffering from a abdominal muscle strain due to vigorous exercises that I have been doing in the last month, and well, I'm trying to ease myself back into the workout routine, but I think I have overdone. I have overdone it.
It sounds, Domenico, it sounds like you started your New Year's resolution to have a 6-pack a little bit
Yeah,
early.
a 6-pack. Well, I was to be honest with you, I was in a I was in hibernation. You know, I was in hibernation, but I've taken up doing physical exercises every day, and well, I've already shed about 8 kilos.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yes.
So you're well on your way with your New Year's resolution, right? By the way, for everybody out there, a 6-pack is when a person has this kind.
I know about the 6-packs, and they have already shown up in my stomach.
There we go. So there's a 6-pack.
I got them back. I'm got them back to me.
Yes, this right here, when somebody does a lot of sit-ups, they get what's called a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Right? We call that a 6-pack. And you hurt yourself. But yeah, don't overdo it, Domenico. You know, people love the 6-pack, but don't hurt yourself, okay? So I think that's what a lot of people do when they're doing their New Year's resolutions. They go a little too fast, too heavy, and then they hurt themselves and then they stop. So that's what we want to avoid here, right? Okay, well, Domenico, let's get into some part 2 because we're running out of time for sure. So, and I want to hear about the natural place near your home. So here we go. Are you ready? I'm going to start you off here.
Yes,
okay.
I'm ready.
So talk about a park. Okay, great. Talk about a park or a natural place near your home. Your 1-minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
A fantastic natural beauty not far from my home I would like to tell you about is the Naulogo seaside, which is located in my town, about 5 minutes from my house. The seaside stretches for about 3 kilometers along the coast of my town, and it has a long hedge that separates the beach from the seaside. And on the same side of the hedge, there's a long strip of lawn which runs along the length of the seaside with palm trees planted on it. Whereas on the road side of the seaside, there is a row of fir trees with benches under each one, where people can sit and enjoy the balmy summer evenings and engage in some great people watching. The place is suitable for families to walk leisurely and for children to enjoy, because in the middle of the seaside there is a playground for them to play with swings and slides. I go there often as it's a suitable place for me to catch fresh air and to take in the beautiful view of the sunset of a small archipelago of volcanic islands, especially in the summer. And I the promenade, well, the seaside of promenade was refurbished about 10 years ago. And
Okay, your time is up. I'm going to stop you there. Please put the note paper to the side, and I will ask you a question related to your response and some questions on this topic. What is a specific memory that you have of this place?
Well, when I was growing up, I was just going to talk about the memory. And when I was growing up, I would go to cycle on the seaside.
I think I just lost Domenico there.
10 years, 20, yeah, 20.
Sorry, I just lost you there
Yeah.
for a second, Domenico. Can you say it one more time?
Can you hear?
Yep.
So the area where the seaside was refurbished about 12 years ago. But when I was growing up, I would go, I would cycle for the length of the seaside with my friends because it was fun. It was a kind of pedestrian area, but since the area of the promenade of the seaside was refurbished, many shops, restaurants have cropped up along the length of it. So it's
Okay,
so
I'm
people,
going to
you
ask
know,
you some questions about nature. So the examiner would eventually interrupt you. You have to keep your answer a little bit shorter, Domenico, because they'll interrupt you if you keep going and going. And here, for the follow-up question and for the question on the cue card as well, you need a specific memory. So when it's a specific memory, it's not a general memory like biking with your friends, but it would be something like, I remember when I was 10 years old and I was biking with my friends. I fell off my bike and scraped my knee really bad. It hurt for like a week, and then you stop. Right. So it has to be that specific. Even if you're just making it up, it just has to be a very specific memory, because otherwise the examiner is going to mark it as incoherent or not quite accurate. So you want to be a little bit careful. Your vocabulary is fantastic, Domenico. So you would have a band 8 for your vocabulary easily. You're using some really nice vocabulary to clearly describe the location, what it looks like, your experience. And I love that part of your speaking. So you're very careful with your selection. You use this, for example, people watching.
Yes,
and
people watching it.
Yeah,
engage in some great people watching. You sit, for example, you can sit one of the benches which are under the row of fir trees, and you can engage in people watching while you are tasting a delicious artisanal ice cream cone.
Exactly, right. So people watching is a more kind of advanced expression that, you know, when you're able to use that kind of expression, it's clear that you have good vocabulary. And your description of the place was very good. So I could easily see how it looks with the separation of the walkway, the hedge, the trees, the benches. So it was very clear for me what it looks like. So that was really good. Okay, Domenico, I've run out of time, but hopefully you'll join me in the next class as well, which is coming up in just less than 30 minutes.
Of course.
Okay. Have an awesome New Year, Domenico, and watch that six-pack.
Thank you so much, sir. Same to you.
Okay. Bye for now. All right. That was Domenico. That was great. And Romelia, others who are in here, Fuang, make sure to come back for speaking part 3, which is coming up in a little bit less than 30 minutes. Everyone who's watching, we're using our website, aehelp.com, for these interactions. To join our premium IELTS package, make sure to click this big red button here that's just right above my head there. Again, it's a one-time payment, lifetime access. Thank you, volunteers. Thank you for sharing those places. Some of you maybe Google some of these places. in the break just to see what we were all talking about. And part 3, follow-up questions related to the topic of part 2 are coming up. Yeah, get up, stretch your legs. That's what I'm going to do. In the meantime, again, you can check out the websites, aehelp.com, glshelp.com. Thank you, Sarah, for moderating the class. It was great to have you here. Yeah, come back. Maybe some of you will have New Year's with me in class. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out for now. Bye.